Hello guys, today I'm gonna be showing you my BTD 6 T5 tier list. Also, I just have to tell you, Darling Gunners are not on this list because this was a different update when this tier list was made. So for now, I'll just tell you that Ray of Doom would go in S tier, MAD would go in A tier, and so would the Balloon Exclusion Zone. So let's dive into it. As the worst T5 tower in the game is Monkey Obelisk. I just don't like this thing. Here's the thing. Sure, it absorbs your banana farms to make more space and just put down more banana farms or something else. But is it that worth it? Because the amount of banana farms you're putting around it, you have to pay for that for a price that's about that. And it's just going to give you the same amount of bananas that your bananas were giving. So it's just not too good, and it's really worthless. And it's a big, fat scam. So never buy it. Just never buy it. In the F tiers, we have Total Transformation and Plasma Monkey Fan Club. These things have a connection where they turn a bunch of towers into a version of themselves. And that is why I don't like them. Because it's just not a good power. I like towers that have an impressive thing that is mostly focused on them and doesn't rely on other things that they need. And overall, I just don't like them. I just don't like them. Alright, Balloon Master Alchemist. You guys are probably wondering, Alex, isn't Balloon Master Alchemist like the best tower in the game? No, because here's my reason. Sure, it puts a potion effect where you pop a balloon, it turns into a red balloon automatically, so you can easily pop it. But here's the thing. Once you do that, you're not going to have money, so you're not going to have enough money to buy for stuff that can actually pop the later rounds. So this is why I don't like Balloon Master Alchemist. Permabrew. You guys are probably going to hate me for this too. I just don't like it. I don't like it. Sure, it makes that Permabrew permanent, obviously, but that's all it does. It doesn't make the potion effect stronger. Why is that? Stronger stimulant, if you have that, it's just going to keep giving it to it over and over. It doesn't really matter if it's permanent. Also, it's like $72,000, and it's just not worth it. Alright, Bomb Blitz. Oh my god. I just don't like this thing. Like, sure, once you lose a life, boom, it sets the entire screen on fire. But here's the thing. If something really gets past your defense, and then you lose a life, you're probably going to lose all your lives, because that's why it was so powerful to get past your defense, obviously. So, what's the point of just lighting the entire screen on the Pop and Awe ability? Is it really good? No, not in my opinion. Moving on to Absolute Zero. This is another thing where it sets the entire screen on something that does damage or freezes things. Yeah. So it freezes all balloons and does some damage. And on its own, sure, you can place towers in the water that don't swim in water because it's turned to ice. But it's just not a good buff. And overall, I just don't like it too much. Glue Storm. I'll put this a little above Absolute Zero, just because I like the design a little more. It looks like Doc Ock from Spider-Man. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing as Absolute Zero, just with glue. Alright, moving on to the D category. First in D, we have Sky Shredder. This thing, it's alright. Like, sure, it has that anti-Moab missile and all those darts, but overall, it's not too good for some reasons. One, it can't hit leads unless you get the middle path, which has atrocious aim for the pineapple. It can pop lead like DDTs, but that's only because of the anti-missiles. And also it's just not good at popping like ceramics or fortified stuff, and it's just not the best. Alright, Ultra Juggernaut. There's a reason why I put it here. It doesn't have like too much Moab damage or enough range, even if you get bottom path. It also just doesn't have the best attack speed. Even if you get middle path, then it's just not gonna have too much range. So yeah, it can pop camo lead. That's what I like about it. So that's why it's above all the other towers on this list that are below it. But other than that, it just doesn't have too much other like damage. It's very good with dealing with rushes such as rounds like 63, 78, 76, all that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good. But other than that, it's not the best. Sub Commander. It buffs your other subs, and that's kind of it, with more attack speed. More attack speed? What the heck is this garbage? Like, itself, just with, like, Armor Piercing Darts is good. But for the T5 specifically, with that upgrade, it's just not good at all. All right, moving on to the Ninja Grand Saboteur. I don't like this thing. Sure, the ability, takes down those mobs at the start and does a little damage to them. That's it, just a little damage. And also can slow down balloons. And it's just not worth it, bro. It can't pop leads, which is kind of annoying. I mean, no, it's actually really annoying, because I want a tower that can pop leads. I'd rather have Ultra Juggernaut than this thing. Alright, Elite Defender. This is one of those really quick, fast attacking towers, kind of like Sky Shredder or Sub Commander. And here's the thing that annoys me so much. With a sniper, when I get bottom path, semi-automatic, full auto rifle, and then Elite Defender, I'm like, do I want large caliber and full metal jacket, because that can pop lead? But if I don't get that, then I can't see camo on its own, and I'm gonna have to get a stupid village. Or use Etienne as a hero. And I just don't want to do that. Like, Etienne's a good hero, but come on, I need Sota for early game. Alright, that's kind of irrelevant. But anyways, moving on to Tax Zone. Tax Zone, yeah. It's another fast attacking tower. We're kind of seeing a connection here. So Tax Zone, it can't hit camos or lead. And it attacks really fast, does a lot of damage, but other than that, it's not the best. Alright, Trade Empire. Trade Empire is a great way to make money, but its regular attacks aren't too good. And it's better than the other towers on this list that are below it, just because that it does make quite a bunch of money. But its regular attacks aren't too good. And it's a little better if you get the 025. So yeah, that's just icing on the cake to make it a little better than these horrible towers. Ultra Boost. You guys are probably wondering, Alex, why is this thing so low? Okay, so what I have to say is this thing is so expensive and the buff is just not worth it. What is it? Just like more attack speed, more damage? It's just not worth it for that $100,000 in hard mode. I just don't like it. Because I know that if you're like a Bloons Pro, by now hard mode is like an easy mode to you. An easy mode is like a baby mode to you. So, Ultra Boost is just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's so much money, and I don't like it. The buff isn't too good. I have to say, it's just not that good. It's not great. Pop and okay. It's kind of just a better version of Bomb Blitz with an ability, and it's another fast attacking tower. And its regular attacks don't do too much damage to mobs or like ceramics. And it's just not too good. All right, C category. This is where the lists get mighty big. And I'm not going to show you guys my S tier list just yet. So for now, we'll look at these bad boys. C tier, we have the Middle Path Village, which is the one that makes everything fast. Biggest one, which has a big bomb. Balloon Crush, another big bomb. Monkey Wall Street, pretty good at making money. Just at the end of the rounds, though. It does buff Merchantman, which is a little better, and gives lives. I might move it up, like right there. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Supermind, very expensive, but very good. I will say, like, it has those giant explosions, and it does place them down pretty quickly for an average Spike Factory. It's not bad. It pops lead, pops camo. I like it. It's just a little too expensive. All right, Blade Maelstrom. You guys know that this thing has to be really, really good. So, it has that ability where it throws all those saws. It's very cheap. And my God, is it great at popping big rushes of balloons. Like 63, 76, 78. It's just so good. My only issue with it is that, oh boy. Just can't hit camos or lead. Like, my God, bro. All right, Legend of the Night. Legend of the Night, it's really expensive, but it's really good with that black hole ability and everything. But when I say expensive, I mean expensive, like $200,000. Like, my God, bro. Does it have to be that much? I really much would just rather get a Ray of Doom, which is about as expensive as an anti-balloon. But no matter. It's pretty good, but still. All right. True Sun God. This thing is very good, but my God, it's like probably the most expensive thing in the game. Actually, no, it's not the most expensive, because there's something else coming up. Monkeynomics, it's not the best way to make money. It's that ability with like the $10,000. I don't like it too much. It's all right. It's all right. Avatar of Wrath. This thing, oh boy. You really need other pop lusts to make it actually that powerful. but on its own, it's not the best. It's still pretty good, but it's not the best. Also, yeah, I do like the design on it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, like all that red and stuff. There's a lot of red towers on this list. Same with black. All right, Comanche Commander. This thing, oh boy. Another sniper elite defender thing where I get mad about choosing the cross path. Do I get pursuit because I don't want to drag it, or do I want to get the camo detection? Because then I can hit any type of balloon, including lead from that missile it gets from Moab Shove. So yeah, it's just so hard and annoying to choose. I normally get camo detection, so I just like lock it in place or give patrol points, which I will admit, when you give those patrol points, when they're moving around like that, they like use the Moab Shove ability to kind of like shove mobs actually backwards instead of just freezing them. So yeah, it's pretty good. Permacharge. I wish I could put this thing higher, but it's not the best thing against fortified stuff, and overall it doesn't have a good amount of range. Actually, no, the range is pretty good. It's just like, it also can't hit camos, which is pretty annoying. On its own, though, if you get like a village Ratian, it's pretty good. Sentry Champion, this thing, oh boy. Can't hit camos, another thing I don't like. And also, not crazy expensive, just a little expensive. And, yeah, it's not too good. Vengeful Sun God, you're probably wondering, why is this at the end? It costs so much money. I don't know if you guys know what the Vengeful Sun God is. I'll show you in a different video. But, yeah, it has that Legend of the Night thing with anti-balloon, and then they all mix together like a paragon, but it's not a paragon. And then once you do that, boom, you get the Vengeful Sun God. But my God, it is so much money, and I just don't like it. B tier, we have Moab Eliminator Balloon Solver. Those two things are green and look kind of similar, if you ask me. Actually, no, not too much. Yeah, Moab Eliminator. Great bad popper. If the ability can kill it in like 5 hits, which is just insane. Also good Moab popping power in general. Balloon Solver, great at solving balloons. It has that acid, puts down that acid pools on the ground, gets rid of all those balloons quickly. And my issue with it is that both of those towers cannot see camos. Zorabomba, this thing carried my childhood. It actually carried my childhood. I loved it so much. And it destroyed DDTs. Like, actually destroyed. Its normal attacks aren't that good, but my God, the ability is so useful. And any like DDTs and under, BFBs and under, like anything like that, it just demolishes in one fell swoop. All right, Energizer. This thing's a great buff and also decamoizes things, which is pretty useful. But its normal attacks aren't that good, and once you do submerge it, it's kind of doesn't have too much attacks besides their force field that can pop balloons pretty quickly. But other than that, the T5 is just to give the buff. It really relies on that other previous upgrades, such as the T1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, to all support it. Banana Central. The only reason I'm putting this at the middle of the list, actually, is it at the middle? Nah, it's kind of at the top. It makes a lot of money. It's probably one of the best ways to make money in BD6, if not the first. After all, it is at the top of this list. Yeah, whatever. All right. Yeah, so it makes a lot of money. And yeah, that's kind of it. It also buffs your other banana farms, which is pretty good. It is a little expensive, but other than that, it's kind of worth getting because once it is expensive, boom, you're just going to get that money right back and even more. Cripple Moab. This thing is a great Moab dealer. My only problem with it is that, again, it's just so hard to choose. I really want the faster firing because snipers just don't attack quick. But, again, I need the camo detection. And I don't want to get a stupid village. Anti-balloon. Anti-balloon. It's very good. It can even pop plasma balloons, which just surprised me. And the ability is really good, but it's a little expensive. But it's so good that it makes up for it. And I have to say, it's probably the best Super Monkey in my opinion. Just because it has all that range, and if you get Ultra Vision, then it can see through walls, which is so useful. And that ability is like unstoppable. Super Brittle. The big Ice Yeti. This thing's cool. Get it? Okay, yeah, it's pretty good. Pops mobs. Great ice. Only problem, can't hit zebras. unless it gets the ice shards with other balloons next to it. Carrier flagship. This thing sends out those airplanes that shoot those missiles, and it's great. Very great. Very, 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 very great. And also it does have a destroyer, which does pop balloons very, very quickly. I do like it. My only issue with it, though, is that, oh boy, on its own, again, can't hit leads. I mean, it can hit leads, but okay. Can't hit camo leads. That's what I mean. Can't hit camo leads. Okay. Yeah. So can't hit camo leads. So yeah, if you get crow's nest, it can pop DDTs at least because of the anti-Moab missiles. But it still can't hit those normal ones because they're not anti-balloon missiles for some reason. All right, preemptive strike. This thing's a great DDT destroyer, and the ability is pretty good. But my problem with it is that it's mostly single target damage. And it's not that expensive, which is why it's a little higher on this list. So yeah, you get the point. Alright, super glue. This thing was also one of those things that carried my childhood in BT6 when I first started playing. I loved it so much. It was that thing that was stunning those balloons really good. Actually, no, not stunning. Freezing. Completely freezing. Because in the new update, I don't know, it might have been last update, I think. It made it so, Ninja Kiwi made it so that instead of putting those pools on the ground, they moved it to that balloon solver. And yeah, instead of that, once a different monkey pops the balloons that it glued, then the nearby balloons get stunned. Which is, I don't know if that's better or worse than what it previously was. In my opinion, it's kind of worse, to be honest. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty good. Because the pools on the ground did pop camo, which I did like. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, Master Bomber. You guys know this thing had to be at least in B. Because, my God, is it great at demolition, like Cripple Moab. Or Moab Elimination. Or Eliminator, sorry. Alright, yeah. Does a lot of Moab damage. And its regular attacks are not bad. Flash Bomb stuns them. Shurikens do some damage. It's not the best with ceramic, still pretty good since it can stun them. So yeah, you get the point of it. It's honestly pretty good, which is why I put it in B. XXXL Trap. You guys know this thing had to be very, very high because it just takes in so much, and all those balloons and mobs that go into it, boof, go away. And then later on, it gives you some cash. So I do like it. Alright, Balloon Incineration. Okay, so, Balloon Incineration. Yeah, so the only reason I put it at the bottom of B, sure, it does a lot of damage, but my problem with it is that even if you do get top path with it, the explosion is a little too small. So yeah. Alright, A categories. Alright, Elite Sniper's at the top of the A category because this thing molded my childhood, and it gave me so much cash. It popped leads and everything. Bouncing bullet. I just loved it so much, and this is one of those towers that carried my childhood, just like Super Glue and Zaramba. I love it so much. Alright, the Wizard Lord Phoenix. This thing I would have put higher if it could hit purple balloons, but other than that, the fire, the Molten Phoenix, everything, the Permanent Phoenix is so good. Archmage, whatever you call it, is so good, and it's a great DDT popper. It also can apparently use the Shimmer effect, and it's basically a 4-3-3 wizard. If it had, unlimited cross path. Inferno Ring. This thing, again, a DDT popper. Besides the fact that its normal attacks can't hit camo balloons, but its fireball does, which is pretty nice. And also it just has very good ways to pop other balloons and rounds like 63 or 76. Superstorm. I love this thing. It pushes the balloons back, and even including Moabs. The only reason it's not an S is because it can get a little annoying. But if you put in the back, it's very good. Very, very good. Spirit of the Forest. I put it below Superstorm just because only the vines are the only things that actually pop camo and are not good at popping DDTs at all. Not a lot of damage, not a lot of stuff, but it does give money, which is why it's in the A category. Icicle Impale. You guys know this thing has to be high. It's kind of a better version of Super Glue, and the reason I say that is because, man, that bazooka is so cool, and I love the design so much better. Like, just look at that. Just look at that, bro. That looks so cool. I mean, he's smiling. He's got his bazooka. It has some nice ice armor. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. All right. Now that that's cleared up, sorry, I accidentally moved this. Okay. Pretty sure it's like right here. Okay, I have to zoom like back in. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now that that's cleared up, moving on. Mob Dom. So yeah, Mob Dom. I like it. It's great mob popper. Like actually, it's so good, and it does push them back and pops lead. My only problem is that once again, can't hit camos on its own. All right. Special operations. This thing's a great camo popper and is a great support tower as well. Pushes balloons backwards, gets a marine in the house, gives some supply drops, can move your towers. It's really good, which is why I put it in the A category. Flying Fortress. It's pretty expensive, but overall it's kind of worth it because of all those missiles and darts. It's really good. Really, really good. Glaive Lord. You guys know this thing had to be very high because you guys know that those 3 spinning glaives around it are so good. And there's legendary as the Ahsoka Tano versus Darth Maul duel on Mandalore in the Clone Wars season finale. So yeah, it's so good and can even pop camo. So yeah, I do appreciate it. If you do get bottom path, it can pop lead. So yeah, pretty much pop any type of balloon. Just struggles against like ceramics and DDTs and stuff. But other than that, I really like it. Primary expertise. You guys know. This is one of the best buffers in the entire game. My reason is that it buffs primary monkeys so well with a lot of range, a lot of pierce, a lot of damage. It's so good. It's just all so good. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it gives more damage. I know it gives more attack speed, but I don't know about damage. Let me know in the comments. I'll check later just to make sure. It also has that ballistic, or is it called ballistic? I don't know. That new attack that has that big catapult thing. It shoots that across. It does a lot of damage and can even one-shot ceramics, which is impressive. Alright, Carpeted Spikes, the lowest A tier. I put this as lowest because it's not the best at dealing with like a ceramic or fortified balloons or mobs. But yeah, it's called a mob shredder, so it's good at popping regular mobs, and the ability is constantly being active of it spewing spikes everywhere. And if you do get top path with white hot spikes, it's pretty good because it can pop any type of balloon, including camos and leads. So yeah, I really like it. Alright, S tiers. Why do I keep accidentally moving that? Okay. S tiers, we have Crossbow Master. Get this thing out of my sight. Sorry. Okay. No, I don't want to. No. Please get out of here. Alright, sorry. Alright. Okay. Crossbow Master, Apache Prime, Permaspike, and Pirate Lord. All these 4 things are amazing, and there's a reason why I put them in S. Crossbow Master, so much range, so much pierce, so much damage, can crit, so much attack speed. This thing's a beast. Nothing's getting past it, and surprisingly enough, somehow the arrows pop lead. I don't get it, but yeah, it's there. It's there, all right. Permaspike. It's just, this thing keeps getting nerfed and nerfed and nerfed, and somehow it's still so good and managed to be better than most of the towers on this list. It's a great DDT popper, great way to pop other doubloons, great fortified, great ceramic. It just pops everything, and they're also basically permanent. So yeah, it's so good. Pirate Lord. This thing's really high, and you might be surprised about that. My reason for it is because 1. Harpoons. Can stuck in 3 mobs, including a ZOMG. My god, pure gold. It is great for popping smaller balloons like ceramics and fortifieds. And it has those bombs and darts, grapes. All of those mixed together are just so many good attacks together that there's a lot of lead popping power, camo popping power, if you get bottom path with it, which I would always recommend doing. Apache Prime. This thing's a beast. It's so good. As Pursuit, got those razor rotors, has all those missiles, all those lasers. They're flying everywhere. And it's just so powerful. And since it does have Pursuit on it, it can move anywhere. And I will recommend getting Middle Path so it can hit all types of balloons. Also move faster for bigger darts. And finally, the best tower in the game, and it's higher than all of them, is... Give it up for Prince of Darkness. This thing's the best. It's really the best. If you get Wall of Fire on it, boom. you're popping all types of balloons, and even if purple balloons come on and they're like, no, 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 boom, you get that Prince of Darkness sacrifices in, boom, all those zombie balloons coming in, popping all that stuff, popping all those DDTs, popping all those other stuff like ZOMGs. Yeah, it's so good. It's so, so, so good. And it has some delicious damage off every balloon you get. Fortified, ceramics, DDTs, BFBs, ZOMGs, fortified Moabs, fortified BFBs, fortified DDTs, all just gone. Normally, it does struggle with round 100, and so do all the other towers on this list, besides the really strong ones that are too expensive. But yeah, it's so good, it's very cheap, and can pretty much deal with anything until round 98. And any tower like that deserves to be the best tower in the game. But there could only be one. There could only be one, sorry. There could only be one. Alright. So that concludes my, That concludes my entire BTD6 T5 tier list. And just to remember the Darling Gunners, where they went, Rave Doom S, Mad and Blue Nerd, Exclusion Zone, all those are both A tier, and Rave Doom in S tier. Rave Doom would be in second place, maybe above Crossbow Master, I don't know. And yeah, so I'm sorry, this tier list was made in a different update. So yeah, you can see the best T5, the worst T5, and I hope you guys agree with my picks, and the ones you disagree with, let me know in the comments and tell me which ones are bad. And that concludes this video, and I'll see you next time.